Welcome to today's deep dive, everyone. We are pulling from a really fascinating article today detailing developer Area 35's turn-based tactical game, Tiny Metal.
Yeah, it's a great piece.
Right, and our mission today is to explore how this grid-based game is breaking completely out of its hexes, like into a massive anime adaptation called Tiny Metal, Zero Line.
Which is huge news.
It really is. They
Yeah.
actually just premiered the pilot at the 2026 Japan Expo in Paris.
And it is just an incredibly ambitious jump. I mean, transitioning from a tactical strategy game into an anime is, well, it's definitely not a one-to-one translation.
Okay, let's unpack this format shift, because adapting a UI-heavy game into a passive medium is almost like trying to turn the internal math of a poker player's brain into, a high-octane war film.
Exactly, yeah.
In a tactical game, the interface, like the menus, the grid, the turn order, it basically acts as a wall between you and the action.
Right, and that interface inherently limits emotional resonance. Like when you play Tiny Metal, you are insulated.
Totally insulated.
Yeah, you command these charming, sort of toy-like tanks from a top-down perspective. Your brain is prioritizing flanking bonuses and unit stats, not the gritty realities of the Artemisian army soldiers actually sitting inside those vehicles.
Oh, wow. That is a really good point.
Yeah, but animation completely dismantles that UI. It forces the audience to just confront the high-stakes political intrigue and, the human cost without the buffer of a stat sheet.
I mean, I have to admit, I'm still a bit skeptical. Turn-based strategy is inherently slow and methodical, right?
Oh, absolutely.
So how do you translate someone thinking about grid placement for 5 minutes into an entertaining, fast-paced animated series? Like, won't it just feel like two entirely different properties?
Well, that disconnect is the central risk of this adaptation, and it's exactly why the specific talent they assembled for Zero Line is so crucial.
Right.
They aren't trying to animate the slow pacing of a player's thought process. They are animating the violent reality of the commands themselves. So to handle that aggressive pacing, they brought in director Hiroyasu Kobayashi.
Oh, from Promare.
Exactly. As the CGI director for Promare, he specializes in making complex, heavy machinery feel like really dynamic and weighty on screen.
Here's where it gets really interesting, though. Then you add Yoshina to the mix.
Oh, yeah, huge addition.
Known for his incredible work on Demon Slayer, obviously, to provide the score.
It's a massive get for the team.
Right, so you have Kobayashi ensuring the Mega Metal tank battles have this physical momentum, while Sheena provides an orchestral pulse to the action. But, I mean, can this team really balance complex mechanical warfare with the sharp, stylized identity fans love? A war story falls flat if the characters are just generic soldiers.
Which brings us to character designer Yusuke Kozaki.
Ah, Fire Emblem.
Yes. Anyone familiar with modern Fire Emblem titles knows his aesthetic. His whole job here is to take the stylized, tiny in-game sprites fans already know and turn them into fully realized screen presences.
Which is not easy.
No, not at all. But he ensures the human element doesn't get lost in the mechanical chaos.
But Kozaki's designs only matter if the characters themselves actually have depth. So what does this all mean for the larger universe?
Well, it ties heavily into the lore.
Right, because the article notes the anime follows Lieutenant Nathan Grease dealing with the fallout of an assassination, which literally sparked the war with the shogunate of Zepang, this rival, traditionalist military faction.
Yeah, and the plot also hinges on the heavy burden of using what they call lost tech.
Right.
And lost tech refers to this ancient, overpowered weaponry that turns standard tactical choices into massive moral dilemmas for Nathan.
Oh, wow.
What's really fascinating, though, is how this narrative lore connects to a broader technical strategy unifying the whole franchise.
Okay, how so?
So Studio Safehouse, the team behind Gundam, Requiem for Vengeance, is animating Zero Line.
Right.
But they are also handling the cinematics for the upcoming Tiny Metal 2 game.
Wait, really? That's a clever logistical move. Sharing a production pipeline between an anime and a video game seems like a great way to, cut costs while enforcing visual consistency.
It actually goes way beyond just cutting costs. Because they are using the same 3D engine for both projects, they can literally share digital assets.
That is wild.
Yeah, the tank you watch in the anime is the exact same digital file you command in the game.
Oh man, that is so cool.
It creates a deeply unified vision of this modern military sci-fi universe. The dynamics between Nathan, his mentor Lindbergh, and the cold calculations of his rival Isoroku Tsukumo, they'll have one-to-one visual parity across both mediums.
So whether you are a hardcore fan who knows every detail of the Black Sacker incident, which was the tragic inciting skirmish of this whole conflict, or you're just incredibly curious about military mecha storytelling. This shows how a game's universe can creatively expand.
Absolutely.
And you can expect more intel as the developers head to Gamescom.
It just changes the entire context of playing a tactical game. You transition from a commander viewing a quiet board to a witness of the actual fallout.
Exactly. So for you listening, these games have always fundamentally been about the heavy weight of command. When you finally sit down and watch the brutal cinematic consequences of a simple flanking maneuver in the anime, how will that new emotional reality change the way you psychologically value and perhaps sacrifice your units the next time you boot up the game?